comes Ulrich and Armstrong.
Well, I think Armstrong's accelerated a bit at the back as we concentrate here on the face of Felix Cardenas. He's being chased at 20 seconds by Roberto Laiseca, and he will have to dig very, very deep here. The two chasers now, number 11 and number 1, Armstrong and Ulrich, still locked together in battle. They are very evenly matched on the slopes of this climb at the moment, but I think that's because Armstrong is just controlling the German for the moment. He started the day 5.5 minutes ahead of Jan Ulrich in the overall classification, and he will find that a very comfortable lead. The yellow car just in front there, you can see it. Those are the front riders of this bike race at the moment. That will be Roberto Laiseca.
Now he's seen all the American flags, and that had to do it for him. He thought he'd show everybody back home and on the roadside. Just look at this. He has ripped away. Now with that sort of speed, he's going to run up to that yellow car in front, and that is where Roberto Laiseca is.
That's about 20 seconds, and he's halving that with every pedal stroke right now. This man is unbelievable. He has looked at all of these mountains. He knows this mountain by heart. He's trained over it many times over the last few months. Concentration written all over his face now. He's aiming at that yellow car in front of him. In front of that yellow car will be Roberto Laiseca, and 20 seconds in front of Laiseca will be Felix Cardenas. The German now, Phil, is digging so deep. His face is tortured. He's pulling himself inside out to try and keep as close to Armstrong as he can.
You are looking there at the face of one of the greatest bike riders currently racing. There it is, that of Jan Ulrich. We've never, ever seen that face twisted like that throughout his cycling career, which began in 1993 with a World Amateur Road Race title. And last year, he ripped them all apart in the Sydney Olympic Games to take the gold medal. And now we're looking here at Lance Armstrong with a kilometre to go, about to hunt down the rider in second place. It'll be as he comes into the home straight after 5 hours in the mountains today. This is a remarkable win for this man. He had to do it the hard way by breaking away early on, and he's going to give us a very unusual 2-arm salute. Don't fall off, that would be too embarrassing. But a great win, Paul.
I've never seen a victory salute like that before in my life. A brilliant win for Cardenas. Roberto Laiseca is going to survive there for second place on the stage, but Armstrong has put time once again between himself and all of his riders. What's important now is the time difference.
The hard approach to the line now. We're coming right up to the 3 ski stations up here, and Sastre is trying to get the win, while behind his team leader Tyler Hamilton is in a little bit of trouble, and he's probably going to lose his 4th place. Now an attack, and this is an attack by Zubeldia this time. Zubeldia has now got a reaction from Ulrich. Now where is Armstrong? He's got to shut his eyes, suffer and grab that wheel, because Armstrong is only separated by 34 seconds from Ulrich. And remember, there's a bonus for the first 3 riders. Here comes Armstrong. Vinokurov is first across. Lance, without his team, has crossed the gap. This is a marvellous race.
A marvellous race. He's coming up alongside Vinokurov there. It just takes him on the inside. That's a brave move. A rather dangerous move as well, but he's straight onto the wheel of Ulrich.
Desperate move. And it will be virtually the same or even closer by the time we cross the finishing line. This is an amazing tour. And there's another attack by Vinokurov. Here it comes. Now, this is where he looks for seconds. He needs 51. And if he can afford to get less if he wins the stage, because he gets 20 for the win. Alexander Vinokurov said he would attack in the mountains. He's waited all day, and this is his move.
This is a great move. This is the move that will get him a few seconds. But look at the power of Jan Ulrich. Armstrong in second position. Ivan Basso just hanging on to 4th place in the line, and the gap is opening. Armstrong is being put into difficulty there. He's lost the wheel of Ulrich. Ulrich has closed the gap to Vinokurov. Armstrong is having a terrible day.
Well, you say it is a terrible day, but it is a great day because he is holding on. Now Ulrich has taken over, and there's a huge cheer gone up here when they've seen Jan Ulrich attack in the finishing zone. And Lance Armstrong is in trouble. He wants that wheel of Ivan Basso. He needs that wheel of Basso. Armstrong in the last kilometres of the climb is now very much on the defensive. The yellow jersey is up for grabs. There is a vacancy for the leader of the Tour de France. Armstrong is on the defensive. Jan Ulrich needs 34 seconds. Vinokurov needs 51. Less if they get in the first 3 because of the bonuses.
Armstrong is down, and he's on the wheel here of Ivan Basso. Now, if Jan Ulrich was to cross the line in third place. Armstrong only has 26 seconds to play with. This man knows it. He's played in the Pyrenees before, and that was when he first won the Tour de France back in 1997. The big man from Germany is back, and everybody, including Zubeldia, is having a hard time staying on his wheel. Armstrong is out of the saddle now, and this is unbelievable. Armstrong would have expected in the Pyrenees to try and put time between himself and Jan Ullrich, but now he is completely and utterly on the defensive.
He has done everything right.
On the face of Ullrich, that's not affecting the overall stage win today, because Carlos Sastre of Spain is going to get him the win for CSC. You know, Armstrong is beginning to recover. Race Radio saying he's starting to come back to the group of Jan Ullrich. He maybe didn't panic, but right now he's digging so deep to keep the yellow jersey on his shoulders behind the win for this man.
Well, we've overshadowed this man's victory by the incredible race behind, but let's give him his due accolade now. Carlos Sastre, only the second win of his career. He finished in 97. He puts a dummy in his mouth, and he has finished with a great win here. Carlos Sastre gets the victory. Will this man get the yellow jersey? He thinks he will. He's clipping these corners like he's going down. Just a little descent here. Armstrong has got back up here now with Mercado, but it doesn't matter, because this man, I think, is looking for second, and here comes Zubeldia as well, and Zubeldia is going to steal that second place bonus. That will help Lance Armstrong. This is unbelievable. Here comes, he digs deep now. Ullrich kicks again. The big man from Germany is looking for a bonus now of 12 seconds. Then we wait to see if 22 more tick by. If they do, we have a sixth leader of this year's Tour de France, and the record, by the way, stands at 8. Here comes Jan Ullrich to the line now. A final kick of determination has destroyed Zubeldia. Don't worry, the camera makes him look closer than he really is. As now Jan Ullrich comes to the line, and then the clock will start. Ullrich is second, and Zubeldia gets a third. And now Lance Armstrong, you are brilliant. That is a recovery for you. He saves the day. He works hard to play a part in the Tour de France and for his team. Now look at the face of Rasmussen. He rides on here, trying to get rid of Mancebo and race to more mountain points. Ullrich looks across just to see, are you guys suffering, or is it just me here? Because Armstrong is tapping out the pedal, and Basso is following him now.
Just look at the way that Armstrong taps out this rhythm. He's got a very high cadence. His cadence in the mountains is something he's taken to try and emulate Miguel Indurain, who, by the way, today the King of July for Spain. Miguel Indurain just happens to be turning 41 years of age, and he's actually here at the finish line.
Well, it's not far.
He is again this year.
And Georg Stoch, who's never known suffering like this, and he's still not sure he's going to win. Hasn't won a race since June last year, but this will be the biggest win of his career. He's a man who's finished 5th in the Giro d'Italia as well, has a high finish of 12th in the Tour de France. He's never won a stage in either race. This will be his biggest win, and it's not certain yet. He'll be desperate to see the last 500 metres. These boys are more concerned with the infighting, and they're just sweeping up to Georg Tocznik because of it.
Just sweeping up slowly but surely. I'm sure that Tocznik is going to survive as Armstrong comes to the front. I think he wants to pick his way precariously through these lower flowing slopes here, because he knows how dangerous it is with the crowd starting to get excited.
We have to remember Luzar Didon when he hooked the bag and he went down, and Ullrich saw it and rode past him and waited. But now that in the barrier section, life gets a little bit sweeter.
It gets a little bit sweeter, a little safer, but also a little bit noisier as well, because this, over the last kilometre and a half of the ascension, is going to be like a barrel of noise. Armstrong just kicking a fraction here, Phil, and this is the moment where last time Armstrong was put into difficulty.
Ullrich's in difficulty.
Was the man who was strong.
Ullrich, I think, is now hurting. Here is Georg Tocznik coming up towards what is the summit of the climb. He gets the prize for the top. Ullrich has cracked. He's gone. Ullrich has done it, and he's just fallen back. This was his big effort, and it hasn't worked. He has dropped off.
But Ullrich will move up in the overall classification here this afternoon, and the reason he was dropped was because of the acceleration over the final few metres of Lance Armstrong in the yellow jersey. Armstrong not now looking back at all, not asking for any help from any other member of this leading group. The man who's accompanying him is the same man who was able to stay with him last year, Ivan Basso, and the big man from Germany now has to look very deep down into his suitcase of courage to finish.
But he's back. Jan Ullrich has given us a brilliant display today, and he's forced the issue. Now it is like it was for 2 days in the Alps last year. Lance Armstrong and Ivan Basso. And it was 1-1 the score for the stage victories. Neither of them, I don't think, are going to get the stage win today. But you know, I think Lance might want to stamp his authority on Basso and remind him, because Basso at 34 years of age, he gets the biggest win of a career which started in 1994. He deserves it. He's been out in front, the only man to survive a 10-man breakaway over every mountain today. He's gone on a big gamble and the most fantastic win of his life. 100% deserved. Well done, Touching.
Well, the team manager might not be too happy with the victory photographs in the newspapers tomorrow morning because he didn't zip up his jersey and the sponsoring name is visible. But this is the big battle now for second and third place. Wearing number 1, Armstrong is putting time between himself and everybody else in the field here this afternoon except Ivan Basso, the man who accompanied him last year.
Now who's going to check it out? They line up for the sprint, shoulder to shoulder, as they were a couple of times. Armstrong leading up. Is he going to unleash one of his fearsome finishes? Showing a banner, he goes for it. Basso's not going to take it. Lance Armstrong sprints away. And just look, he's going to get a time gap here. He'll be making with a time gap as he drives to the line. Yellow is second. Lance Armstrong stays leader of the Tour de France. And tonight increases his advantage over everyone. There were moments when we would have wondered if that was going to be the case.
Well, Armstrong did what he needed to do this afternoon. You know, he wasn't the aggressor as we wait for Jan Ullrich to come up to the line. The aggressor was Jan Ullrich. Ullrich went out on the attack. Armstrong was on the defensive, but he defended to perfection. And at the end of the day, came out with the goods. Ullrich, though.
Ahí va Alberto, arranca Alberto y arrancan Dieslek a su rueda. Vaya cambio de ritmo del madrileño, sale de momento muy bien, bien pegado ahí a su rueda el luxemburgués, el maillot amarillo de este Tour de Francia, está aguantando largo el ataque.
2:10.
Y Menchov que quiere llegar también al cambio de ritmo que ha forzado el madrileño. Ahí se sienta ahora Alberto viendo que no había podido soltar y ahí neutralizan ya a Carlos. Mucho mérito lo que está haciendo este corredor, porque venía de la fuga, que han tirado durísimo para perseguirla. Bueno, y ahí ¿qué hacen, Pedro?
Nada. Que se ponga de líder Samuel Sánchez. Pues empezaron el puerto con 4 minutos de ventaja respecto al grupo o al pelotón donde estaban los mejores. Y si ya hacíamos antes cábalas de cuánto tiempo necesitaban, decíamos que era poco, al final
victoria para Riblon.
Alberto o Andy Schleck sería perder, así que para estos dos corredores les meten un poquito más en carrera.
Ahí cruzan la línea de meta Menchov y Samuel Sánchez, y vamos a ver con cuánta diferencia respecto a este grupo. Viene Dieslek tirando ahora con Joaquín Rodríguez ahí a su rueda. Hace ya 10 segundos que ha cruzado la línea de meta el corredor asturiano, y ahí la van a cruzar
14.
a 14.
À moins de 7 km de l'arrivée, les premiers renseignements de cette première arrivée au sommet peuvent être tirés. Andy Schleck, vainqueur du Tour de France 2010 sur tapis vert, et Cadel Evans, vainqueur de l'édition 2011, sont distancés.
Regardez,
Andy Schleck lâché, Cadel Evans lâché,
Talensky, Dan Martin, ouh là là, ça va faire des dégâts. Et c'est Richie Porte, seul Richie Porte, ça devient dur pour Valverde.
On disait Ax-Trois-Domaines, ne fait jamais de dégâts, regardez comment ça a explosé.
Une première semaine australienne sur cette 100e édition, compte sur une énième accélération de Richie Porte. Contador, l'un des grands rivals de Froome, lâche lui aussi à son tour.
Alberto Contador en difficulté sur l'accélération, non pas de Froome, mais de Richie Porte. Christopher Froome se retourne, il va attaquer, il va accélérer. Christopher Froome, il a regardé, il a vu Contador, il a aperçu, regardez, c'est Christopher Froome qui est en train de mettre un coup terrible, un coup de poing sur la table, qui est en train de mettre un coup de poing sur le Tour de France, il a vu.
Et c'est donc sur cette montée d'Ax-Trois-Domaines que va naître un nouveau duel qui suivra les Tours de France suivants, entre Christopher Froome et le petit grimpeur colombien Nairo Quintana. Les Sky vont taper un énorme coup sur la tête de cette 100e édition en terminant respectivement premier et deuxième de l'étape et en repoussant tous les autres concurrents entre 1 et 2 minutes.
victoire britannique sur les Champs-Élysées l'an dernier, eh bien Christopher Froome assume son rôle de grand favori du Tour de France 2013. La victoire pour Christopher Froome à Ax-Trois-Domaines et surtout des dégâts impressionnants. On va déclencher les chronomètres. Victoire d'étape pour Christopher Froome. À part Tirreno Adriatico, partout il est passé cette année, il a gagné et il lève les bras. Victoire d'étape, sa deuxième sur un Tour de France pour le Britannique Christopher Froome, nouveau leader du Tour de France.
Le 13, 45, 45. Le public, merci de l'évaluation. On déclare l'étape du jour.
Du public ici d'Ax-Trois-Domaines, merci de réserver une ovation à Valentin.